Hi, this is Damien from Angelwolfstudios, and welcome to 2020. In one of my previous videos, we went over the things that I've learned in 2019, and now in this video, I want to go over the things that have definitely changed for 2020 because of 2019, and things that I hope to get accomplished in 2020. All right, let's get started. Okay, so some of the things that I'm working on that I really hope to get established in this year would be one of the main things is I need a better way to how do you put it? I need to be able to display the progress of the custom items. Like I want a progress bar on my website or something along those lines so that you can see, okay, it's at this point, so that you can get a constant update on what's going on with your projects or with the projects that you've ordered. I find this information to be useful. This way, you don't have to spend time to contact me directly to ask, how's it going? How far along are you? When is it going to ship? This way, all this information will be in one place for you to grab, and it'll be clear and understandable. I did have a way that I did this before, but everybody that looked at it said they couldn't find their item. They weren't able to see where what stage of the progress I was in as far as the project was concerned. So to me, yeah, total bust. It was a good attempt, but total bust. Also, as I said in the 2019 video, because I've been asked a few times to rush orders or to get orders done by a certain date. And I've mentioned it quite a few times that that's not 100% possible. So, which is another reason for this work in progress meter or whatever. I don't know what I'm even going to call it when I get it done. But everything goes first come, first serve basis. Okay? Let me explain that a little bit, because I'm not sure if I've explained it yet. Okay, so we'll say you order a table today. The table that you ordered today probably won't be ready until the latest, usually March, we'll say. Now that is if it's a completely customizable table. Okay, so that's the first order that comes in. Now, 2 weeks later, another table order comes in. Now, that table does have to wait until the custom table is done. Even though there are some things that I can do at the same time. But as soon as I get things onto my workbench, the workbench is occupied and I cannot work on any large projects whatsoever besides that one that I'm working on. Now, say last month somebody ordered a table, but they're paying in installments. So, what I've tried to do is I've tried to have the item ready by the time the last installment comes in so that I can just send it off and be done with it. When I have multiple orders, that is not possible. If there's any time when that is possible, then it will happen that way. But otherwise, the table might not get built until after the last payment comes in. Provided that, and that's only if there's something already being built at that time. So, the reason why I'm doing it this way is because, like I've always said, I have a very small workshop, which I'm hoping this year I can either expand or be able to move into another space, into a larger space that I can get, so I'll have more room to work on multiple projects at a time. Which is one of the things that I've been wanting for a while. Right now, depending on the weather, if I try to work on two major projects at the same time, one of those projects might, the weather might destroy it, So, because I don't have the space to fit everything in the workshop without it getting wet, for example, because it's an open carport at the moment, which I'm also working on this year. So, excuse me for my phone, I'm sorry about that. Very rude, very unprofessional, I'm sorry. Alright, so, and since we're talking about tables, okay, I did mention a little bit of this in the 2019 video, but this year I am working hard to find somebody that can turn legs. Now, what does this mean? If you take I don't have anything right here okay, so we'll take a pencil, for example. I can cut a straight line into a piece of wood. I can glue up multiple pieces of wood together to create somewhat of a style on it, but I'm not able to turn a round I'm not able to turn it to where it becomes round, for example, or put any designs into it. I don't have the equipment for that, and I also have to learn how to use that equipment when I do get that equipment. So I'm trying to find somebody right now, and I think I might have found the perfect person because he's in the same town I live in and doesn't live very far, doesn't live or work far from where I am. So hopefully I'll be able to get different styles of legs made for the tables. All right. So, continuing on with tables, I know tables is like the main thing that I like to do. I like building everything, but tables give me tables give me the most satisfaction, I would say, because it takes a while to build. It gives me, I almost get to escape in my building of a table, just as much as if I were to go play a video game. So that's very rare in some cases. If you ever get the chance to do something that helps you escape like that, do it. Try to do it for the rest of your life. I mean, seriously. So since we're talking, like I said, since we're talking about tables, if you go to my website, which is www.angelwolfstudios.com, you will be able to find new table designs that I have created. One of them is a hexagon-shaped table. Somebody had asked me for that design, and I told them I would have to, sit down and actually design one before I can say like how much it would cost and everything like that. So I finally did that, and man, I should call that person back. That's okay. It's my cousin anyway. So, and then there were some sad faces when I had to raise the prices of the Adron table. I'm really sorry about that, but the time it took to make an Adron table, and the time and the materials itself, especially after redesigning it, got costly. So what I did was I created what I call the 4x4 table. It's 4 feet by 4 feet. It fits 4 people comfortably. You can possibly, sit 2 children on one side of the table. That's fine. It's made in the same sense as all the other tables, as where it has a removable top so that you can put your game inside, and put the top on so that you could eat dinner. That table is not customizable at all, and I do that because I made it a pretty decent size, and I've calculated the time that it's going to take to make it, and I've been able to get it down to $1,000 even. So that is the lowest price price point. You still get stain, you still get fleece or neoprene. Oh yeah, I have neoprene now. Now that I mention it, I have a supplier for neoprene. So if you want neoprene instead of fleece, just let me know. Depending on who I'm getting it from, sometimes it costs more, sometimes it doesn't. But I will let you know when you order. So, let's see, what's next? Okay, so smaller items. If you look onto the website or onto the Etsy page, I make dice trays, dice cups. I'm working on some dice towers now. I'm working on a lot of little small things for DMs and players to use for their role-playing games. Now, mind you, if you have a small area and you just need a place to roll dice to make sure the dice don't roll off the table when you're playing a board game, the dice trays are a perfect fit for that. So, but what I'm getting at is, what I'm working on this year is I want to get some of these smaller items into stores. The price point, I feel the price point is low enough to where it'll be affordable for you to just walk into a store, pick up the item, and pay for it at the store and walk out. Now, if you want something like personalization, where, say, for example, on the dice cup, dice tray, I think those are the only 2 at the moment. On those 2 items, you can get your name or your character's name etched or carved into the side of the item in Draconic, Elvish, or Dwarven. I have been looking up some other ones because somebody was asking for Orcish, and I finally found one for that. But if you need anything else, especially like, say if you want the script for Arak Besh, or if you want something in Klingon, just make sure that you direct me to where I can get those fonts so that I can be able to plan out the space that you're going to need for whatever it is that you want on your item. But those items will not be available in stores. If you wanted customized or personalized, you'll have to order them. Personalization does not cost anything extra. Personalization doesn't cost anything extra, so you should be good with that. So, some more new things that I want to work on this year is I want to start a podcast. I'm calling it the Druid's Table. I want to go ahead and make a video talking about that in more detail, but it will definitely be about tabletop gaming, role-playing games, and I might even throw some woodworking topics in there as well. If, say, woodworking becomes more of a thing that people want to hear me talk about, or woodworking, crafting, stuff like that, then I will make a separate podcast for that later on. But right now, the podcast that I'm putting out is called Druid's Table, and there will be a video talking about that in a little bit more detail soon. Also, I would like to do some streaming. Now, there are a lot of streams out there where people play video games and people play D&D. The idea that I have, I really do believe is unique. Nobody's done it before, and I would like to work on that. I'm going to be making a video for that as well when the time comes for when I can fit that into my schedule. Now, lastly, the one thing that I would like to have taken care of this year is my happiness. Yes, creating things is, making things with my hands is something that makes me happy. It gives me an escape from, everyday world. So I don't have to listen to politics or people fighting over religion or anything like that. But through my depression, happiness has not been a thing. I still struggle with depression on a daily basis. For people like me, it's a dice roll if I'm going to be able to get out of bed. But I've been working on that. Of course, certainly I have not done myself any good by making now my bed the most comfiest place in this planet. People have weighted blankets. I don't need that. I have a nice blanket pillow fort. I have a ton of pillows on my bed, a ton of blankets on my bed, and now sometimes it's just like, there are points where it's just like, this just feels good. But the blankets and having that like surrounding me, like a weighted blanket, just gives me that security that that everything's still okay. So then I can get out of bed on time, and unless it's the weekend, of course, and start my day. But like I said, I still have some things that I need to work out as far as, excuse me, as far as not being able to worry about things. This is a small startup. So, one thing that I really hope for 2020 is that I don't have to worry about keeping my lights on or keeping rent paid and stuff like that. I don't want to have to worry about these things halfway through the month, go into a panic, you know. I want to be able to I want to be able to just not worry about those things. I mean, you want to worry about it to a certain extent because it's a responsibility, but I get into the point where it's panic inducing. My anxiety just kicks off into full gear, and it's not good. So I'm working on that this year, not just financially, but just being able to say, this is, if you can't control it, you just can't control it. So yeah. Oh no, there is one other thing. One other thing is, I have a project that I'm working on, and I'm looking at it right now behind the camera, and I really need to reach out to some places to see if I can get the materials that I need to make it. And for this project, I want to go to Kickstarter with it. Because I think this is something that a lot of people would really like, and I'm just hoping that I can get that out there, because I've shown the prototype to a few people and they were ecstatic about it. And every time they see me, they're like, "Did you build it yet? Did you build it yet? Did you build it yet? Can I buy it yet? Can I buy it yet?" But yeah, it's on the back burner, and I just want to. Yeah, that's the one of the last things that I want to really get done for this year, is get that Kickstarter out there. So, yeah, 2020, it's here. Oh, geez, I turned 45 this year. Wow. I'm going to be 45 years old. I know it's just a number, but damn. Anyway, all right. So, yeah, so hopefully I can get these things done in 2020. Please hold me to it. Keep asking me about these things. Say, hey, have you done that yet? Or hey, have you done that yet? And that'll definitely keep me working on it and keep me accountable for these things that I been wanting to work on. All right, so I hope we have a great year, basically. I want to say it can't get worse than 2019, but it certainly can get worse than 2019. But let's hope that 2020 is our year. All right, I'll catch you on the next video.